What is up, NYJohn here, and we have another match from the GosuCup Americas. Today we have HTID versus MYI. Hi, this is Dog versus My Intent. Two teams, both based in North America, I believe. In fact, I think My Intent are running a full Canadian squad if they weren't fibbing with their map selections on the Gosu Gamers website. But let's get to the action. Both of these teams faring really well as of late, especially in this tournament. My Intent with a pretty decisive victory yesterday over their opponent's ice that I was able to cast, and you can catch on my YouTube channel. But right now, some bans coming out. We see Undying and Bounty Hunter were banned off by the Radiant team, and the Dire take out both Batrider and Jakiro. So nothing too out of the ordinary. They do leave Magnus in the pool, and that's a hero that's been getting a lot more play as of late. So interested to see if he's actually going to get picked up here. Darkseer is going to be the first selection by My Intent, and the immediate response is going to be Templar Assassin and Rubik. So TA against Darkseer, not ideal, but she can still manage very well. You don't usually see teams go as far as to put the Darkseer in the middle lane against TA. And today, during the matches I'm casting, I'm actually doing a little bit of a giveaway. If I can get every 15 followers I get on Twitter, I will go ahead and give away one of my items, a rare item, or if you'd rather have an uncommon, you can select that too. And I'll pick that randomly, so be sure to check out my Twitter at NYJohnTV. I have like 2 followers. I'm trying to get that going now, so after the game or during the game, if you have a moment, if a pause comes up, be sure to head over there. But let's focus on the game right now. So My Intent to have 2 more selections here. They could pick up the Venomancer if they want to really hard counter the Templar Assassin. She is in the pool. There's a couple of other options if they want to try and force a better matchup against TA. However, there's still a lot of good heroes available. Keeper of the Light is still out there. And, I mean, it's still too open to see what they're really going to pick off here. If they want to go for Night Stalker and Sven, we see those two comboed up very often. I do like Night Stalker with the Darkseer. Putting the Ion Shell on him, he could really wreak some havoc. And now we do see Shadow Demon and Lena are going to be the selections. So a couple supports on the back end of a Darkseer. It leaves their lineup very open, and you have to think that HTID are going to focus on banning out some of the solos, because that's going to be one of their focuses, either solos or carries going into the next banning phase. But first, HTID have one more pick. We'll see what they want to go for here. They have their middle. Rubik in all likelihood going to be a support. Usually you don't have him solo with a TA. That means you would have to put TA on the safe lane. And you don't see it all too often, especially recently. So this could be a long laner, another support. They could go for a jungler if they want to pick up something like Enigma. It wouldn't be a bad option. So we'll have to see. They could also pick up a carry here. If they want to start banning out carries against their opponent, it wouldn't be a bad idea for them to pick up their own carry first, so they don't have to kind of figure out what carry they can pick after banning them out. So they're going to go into their extra time here, taking down to around 50 seconds, and take their time for this selection. Thank you for joining me. I'm NYJohn. This is the GosuCup Americas. We have My Intent versus HTID, which I'm pretty sure is high. This is Dog, but not 100%. If someone wants to confirm in chat eventually, you can. And thank you for tuning in. We're going to see if we can get an exciting matchup on our hands. Hopefully it's going to be a really good one. I mean, both of these teams have familiar faces, names that have been around before, so hopefully that translates into experienced players. And wow, a Shadow Fiend pick here with a 3rd selection. A pretty big hero pick. I mean, it's not something I saw coming. Shadow Fiend against Lena. I mean, it's not really a bad matchup for him in any regards against any of these particular heroes. If he can get his BKB up in a timely fashion, he should fare pretty well. However, if he's not able to, it's going to be very tough. Laguna Blade on him is going to hit really hard, as well as Shadow Demon with stuff like Soul Catcher and the ability to focus on him. It's going to be trying for certain. And we do see a couple of bans flying out, so Magnus is going to be taken out by My Intent, and HTID take out Sven. Now ban back to My Intent. It's going to be Keeper of the Light, so going to take out that big Coddle support and we'll see if the Dire continue on the path of trying to ban out some of the potential carry options for the Radiant, as I suggested earlier, or if they want to take out some solos too. And they're going to take out the Night Stalker, which was a pick that definitely could have fit well into my intense lineup in that first 3 selections, but they've really set on getting those 2 supports up early. And Lina and Shadow Demon, very strong supports. They could definitely combo up well. If they want to throw them into an aggressive lane, they can have some success. Chaos Knight may be a targeted ban, because if you have that many disables, you can really run a chaotic, aggressive tri-lane against your opponent. And now, my intent with their final ban, before we get back to the picks, who do they want to take out? Coddle and Magnus so far. So it looks like they're just going after specific heroes, and Tide's going to be the last one. Take the Ravage out of the equation. Ravage, of course, sets up that Requiem of Souls really effectively, and as such is going to be a nice ban to take him out of there. And minus armor too. I mean, Templar Assassin, Shadow Fiend, and Tide will be a whole lot of minus armor to try and cope with. And look at this, my intent with a Clockwork selection. Wow, we're going to get to see some Clockwork action. That's something you don't see all too often. He did get a buff recently, so how can he manage now? It's going to be interesting to see how they try and lane him, because Darkseer are probably going to take the off lane. Does this mean Clock is going to go solo, or are they going to try and create a really unique tri-lane with Clock featured in there? And thank you for the person in chat that said, "Hi, this is Dog." That's what I thought. It was something along those lines. I knew it was a dog, but hi, this is Dog versus my intent. And I'm so excited to see the Clockwork pick, because think about this now. Clockwork, he got that boost onto his cogs, so Darkseer can go ahead and use the vacuum to pull everyone in there, and then you have the Lina AoE damage that can stack on top of that, as well as stuff like throwing the wall there. And let's see if they pick up one more AoE hero, because this could be a really strong team fight coming out from the Radiant if they have one more big team fight usage. And Clock, another hero that's actually pretty good against Shadow Fiend. I mean, before the BKB is up, he's really frustrating to try and get an ultimate off or anything along those lines. And Templar Assassin too, if you think about it, it's going to tick down the refraction, albeit relatively slowly, but still, it's hard to pursue a Clockwork. And they're going to pick up a Sniper, so a hero that can stand back and get some damage. Clock's going to provide a nice amount of distance in any teamfight initiations, and Sniper should be able to try and pick off heroes from the rear. And wow, this is... Someone messaged me yesterday, actually, and told me that the carry pick for my intent was going to be Sniper when I was 100% sure it was going to be Sven. It ended up being Dragon Knight, but now they pick up the Sniper, so someone knows my intent style, and we're going to get to see a Dwarven Sniper. And if things don't go well, it's going to be a long game for him, because Templar Assassin can feast on a Sniper, and if she gets things going and Sniper doesn't, oh boy, you better watch out. And the final pick for Hi, This is Dog is going to be Beastmaster. So they rounded up with another aura, so they're going to rock 3 auras, and that's going to be really beneficial for Shadow Fiend, and even Templar Assassin's going to get a good deal out of that. So interesting team lineup from my intent, a pretty strong team comp as it seems from Hi, This is Dog, and we'll have to see who's going to get the better of it as we get back into it. Once again, I'm NYJohn. This is the GosuCup Americas, and this is the round of 16, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but we'll say it's the round of 16 for now. And we're about to get started in the game. So here goes nothing. As everyone's selecting up their heroes, someone really reluctant to pick Clockwork. It's going to be Orbit. And I'm so excited to see how this actually pans out, because Clock is a really fun hero in pubs. However, he just doesn't quite work out in competitive as of late. Let's make sure I switch this overlay so I don't look like a clown. And there we go. And let's check who's playing what hero. So for Hi, This is Dog, we have Brutus playing Shadow Fiend, GX Slim on top of Templar Assassin, Careface playing Beastmaster, your boy JC on Rubik, Ice playing Shadow Shaman. And for the Radiant team, my intent, we have Chicken MC on Sniper, J-Mead on Shadow Demon, Incarnate playing Darkseer, Orbit playing the Clockwork Goblin, and Loper playing Lina. And we do see it's going to be a level 1 Roche attempt as they select up 2 out of 3 auras. And this is going to be pretty difficult. They're taking a lot of damage on all these heroes, and the Radiant have rotated the entire wrong way. They have no idea what is going on, and this could be successful if they're able to tank it up. And they're going to need to just transfer the damage really effectively, because Roche is not having any of this right now. Shadow Shaman does have a shackle up in a moment here. Templar Assassin dropping really low, and it looks like they're going to be able to get it. But now a ping is flying off, but actually that is still from light blue, so no inclination right now that the Radiant know that they're doing Roche on, and they're going to get it here. So level 1 Roche coming out for high. This is Dog. An early success for their team, and wow, well played there. They get the level 2s, so it doesn't even matter that they had to select the auras up level 1. And a little bit surprising. It's not a lineup that you typically see go for that level 1 Roche, but surely with the auras they were capable of doing so, and even Refraction in the mix to mitigate some of the damage coming out from Roshan. So well played. The Aegis is on Templar Assassin now, and this is going to make this middle lane really difficult for Incarnate on his Darkseer. But that being said, it is a Darkseer versus TA matchup, so it's a decent matchup for Darkseer. He'll be able to get his farm going, and TA should be able to get some last hits too, though. It's not going to be barring her from any real CSing here. On the bottom lane, though, it's going to be solo Clockwork versus Beastmaster. So both of these heroes should have a good opportunity to get early farm as well. In the top will be an aggressive tri-lane featuring Sniper. So this is where we're going to have to keep our eyes. In fact, Telekinesis is going to toss Lean into the air. Disruption to stop her. A Light Strike Array is going to stop Shadow Fiend in his tracks. And out comes the Ether Shock to finish her off. They're going to try and get a rebuttal kill. Can they take down Rubik? Rubik, one more hit and he'll go down. Can they find him? And he'll go down. But however, it looks like Sniper has put himself in a bad spot. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade as it stands right now. No more mana for Shadow Shaman or Shadow Demon. So it looks like Shadow Demon will be able to back up here. Oh, there's a lot of Shadow heroes in this game, now that I think about it. That could be troubling. So an early exchange in favor of the Dire on this top lane. And it's going to be pretty difficult. I mean, they have a good amount of disables, a lot of damage output. Sniper doesn't deal all too much damage this early on in the game, so they have to be a little bit concerned and maybe play it a little bit more conservatively. Until you can get some movement out, maybe Clock will be the first to try and break his lane once he gets that level 6 or so. And Incarnate taking a good amount of damage from this refraction hits on the middle lane. In fact, he'll take a tower hit as well, and he'll have to back off a little bit here, but the bottle does fly in. So a 2-minute bottle acquired by Darkseer here. Templar Assassin, meanwhile, has an empty bottle. Haste Rune on the bottom. She's going to go ahead and pick that up. They do have a ward in position that's spotting it off. So the aggressive tri-lane is going to go ahead and try and stop the pull from happening. They throw a stun down. Telekinesis will toss Lena back, though, and the Fable takes her down really low. One more auto attack will do the job, but she pops off the salve, and now she's still getting salve healed inside of the disruption. She throws out another Light Strike Array on top of Shadow Fiend, but she'll drop from the Ether Shock, and now the pursuit is on. Can they take down a second hero again? Both of them so low. Shadow Demon going to get taken down by the Fable, and an auto attack. He's going to drop, and now Light Strike Array to stop them from pursuing Sniper any further. But another 2 hero kills for the Dire team, and this is going horribly wrong for the Radiant. They assert themselves with some bold hero selections, but it's not panning out in the laning phase quite yet. And let's bring up our last hits in the nice and see where they stand across the map. Clockwork leading the way, 15 for 5, and on the bottom he gets a solo kill. Stay dead. Clock taking down Beastmaster by himself. Sad that I missed that. That's really impressive. Beastmaster, not an easy hero to take down by any means. Certainly tanky. And it looks like Clock's build, he put a lot of emphasis in the battery assault, not leveling up the rocket flare, as often as usually you see a Clock do. And level 1 in Power Cox is just so powerful now since that boost. I believe it's 5 seconds or so at level 1. And that is an amazing duration for something that holds your opponent in that area, so perhaps that contributed to his success. And with that kill, it's going to give him a slight level advantage. Oh, actually, they're still pretty even. So he's going to have to try and just keep pressing, because that's going to be one of the only lanes going distinctly in favor for the Radiant right now. We can see the middle lane 12 for 1 in terms of CS on Darkseer against 18 for 4 on Templar Assassin. Now Disruption on the top lane. Soulcatcher on the back end going to be chained off with the Light Strike Array, and this could be the kill they're looking for. Rubik dropping really low, but a Shackle's going to stop Sniper in his tracks. Can they get the last hit? No, he's going to pop off his stick, and that's enough to heal him up. And now from the side, a hasted Templar Assassin comes in. 1 kill, 2 kills, a double kill for TA. GX Slim coming up and doing some cleanup work for the top lane. And now the kill lead is 6-2 in favor of the Dire team. Hello, this is Dog. And he's going to rotate calmly back to the middle lane. Where was the second kill? So Sniper did pick up a kill, that's right. It was a 2-for-1 exchange early on. That's where the second kill came for My Intent. And then, of course, this bottom lane kill. So, like I said a moment ago, it's going to be a lot on Clockwork to get moving. And, in fact, they're going to bring Sniper down to the bottom lane to try and get his farm going. Clockwork now has Arcane Boots up. So he's going to have to generate some opportunities across the map for his team. But he's actually going to walk through an Observer Ward that's about to expire. But a little bit poor timing or luck for him, as it will spot him off as he goes towards the middle lane. And, in fact, he's just going to double back for a moment here. And they're going to try and set something up on Beastmaster, but Beastmaster probably caught a glimpse of him turning around on the top lane. Lina has to be careful. She's only level 2, and there's still 3 heroes up here. The farm on Shadow Fiend looking pretty strong. He has Treads up as well as a Bassi. And now it looks like Incarnate's going to come up here and just try and stave off the push by spamming out Iron Shell, which is not a bad idea because you do not want to lose these towers on the back end of a lot of lost hero kills as well. And Orbit's going to take up that middle lane role and try and slow down Templar Assassin. She's second in the game only to him in terms of CS. And let's check out our net worth graph. That should show us really how well the Dire team is doing so far. 2,600 gold on Templar Assassin, 2,200 on Shadow Fiend, and 2,100 on Clockwork. So the top 4 all doing pretty well, but then you could see the drop-off between the tri-lanes and the successes attained by that Dire tri-lane. In fact, Incarnate may be in trouble now from behind. They're going to come in, telekinesis to toss him up in the air, and he uses the sprint, but the Shackle's going to stop him in his tracks. Light Strike Array may save him. The Sheep now on leader. They're going to change their focus, and she is going to drop. But she does save the Darkseer, so perhaps a little bit better off. And Disruption's going to fly on top of GX Slim, who is now going to go ahead and pursue Shadow Demon. But Clockwork's coming in as well. Can he dodge him? Oh, the Psionic Trap's going to slow him down just enough. And Shadow Demon has no chance of surviving here, but Orbit flies in. Top of Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin's going to get help from her teammate, though, as Roar flies in on Clockwork, and she finishes off Clockwork as well. Excuse me. Another couple big kills. Templar Assassin starting off the game 4-0. And now a Sonic Trap popped under the tower. Sniper's going to get dove in here. And it looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble. One more hit will do the job. From behind we see Lina coming in, but she's still only level 2. The Light Strike Array will miss, but she will get a kill on top of Beastmaster with help from the tower. A TP coming in from Shadow Demon. He's going to throw to the Disruption and the Soul Catcher on top of GX Slim, who also gets hit by a Light Strike Array, but they don't have enough damage. And they're too low of levels to try and pursue him any further. Lina picked up about 3 levels from that 1 kill on Beastmaster. So it was a good job for her to be there, because those are very important levels to come by if you want any chance of a comeback. 10-3 is the kill lead advantage for Hi. This is Dog over My Intent. And now we have a pause coming out from the Dire team. And this has been an action-packed game. 13 kills in 7.5 minutes. So, I'm gonna have to see what My Intent can do to try and hold tight. I mean, like I said earlier, Sniper is a hero that if he doesn't get things going early against the Templar Assassin, he is going to get rolled. There's no question about it. TA has the damage output, has the speed and the slows to just jump on Sniper whenever she pleases and really whoop him. And so it's going to be very difficult for him here on out. They're going to need a lot of movement and a lot of maybe 5-man gank attempts. They're going to have to start grouping up a little bit more to have any chance of winning this. We see 3 heroes are actually coming towards this bottom lane, so this could be another problematic situation, as these are some underleveled heroes. Level 4 Sniper, level 3 Shadow Demon, level 5 Lina against the level 8 Templar Assassin. That's got to be alarming, to say the least. And an arrow on the map is going to point them back towards the base, so maybe they'll try and retreat up here. And it looks like they're ready to unpause. So we have an unpause coming out in a moment. And we'll get right back into the game. I want to thank everyone who's joining me. This is GosuCup Americas. We have Hi, this is Dog against My Intent. Hi, this is Dog taking a really strong lead early on in this game. We're under 8 minutes. They already have 10 kills. And looking for more. As the bottom lane has to be careful. They have a ward up, though, so they should spot anyone coming in here. And now just a little bit of positioning jostling from Shadow Shaman as well as Rubik. They're going to go ahead and try and find some way to gank this bottom lane. Beastmaster coming in as well. He does have Roar available. So they're going to walk right through a ward, though. So hopefully their teammates have TPs ready if they do try and dive this. Let's check just in case. No TP on clock. And Incarnate does have a TP, so he can make his way down there if need be. And he definitely might have to come down here sooner than later, as it looks like this is going to be a hard dive. At least that's what it's setting up for at the moment. So here comes the push onto the tower. Two heroes still behind the tower. In fact, they're going to show themselves to the Beastmaster. Now he's going to look for a roar opening, but he gets disrupted first. TP coming in from Incarnate. Clock gets a TP too, and this could be a good team fight for them, but they instantly zap down Darkseer. And now the Ether Shot comes in as well, puts Shadow Shaman really low on health. Light Strike Array is going to stop Beastmaster in his tracks. He'll actually go down, and now it looks like they're going to go ahead and pursue on top of Rubik. One more hit should do the job. Rubik goes down, as well as Shadow Shaman, so a 3-for-2 exchange in the end. Darkseer dropping really quickly there, but still a better outcome for the Radiant team. And now they pick up some much needed levels, and they get those level 6s up on both Sniper and Lina. So Laguna Blade and Snipe are both going to be up and able to be impactful in the coming team fights. And that's what they really need, some more damage output, because they certainly are lacking. In the middle lane, Templar Assassin continuing to farm, only 150 gold away from getting that Blink Dagger up, if that's what he wants to go for first, and I'm sure that is his oncoming selection. We do see 5-for-0 on that TA, so having a really strong game. Clock, meanwhile, 2-for-1, not bad. He's actually having one of the better efforts, but now we see CS is starting to go in favor of the Dire, as well as Shadow Fiend has had an opportunity to keep his CS going up to 51. As I say that on the top lane, Incarnate solos him. A nice kill pickup for Darkseer there. So a moment ago it was 10-3 in the kill lead. Now it's only 12-7. So things looking a little bit better. However, just as I say that, Shadow Demon could be in trouble on the bottom. Gets roared up and shackled. Perhaps a little bit of overlapping on those stuns. A Snipe's going to fly out here. It'll do some damage to Rubik in the river, though. They're going to use a Laguna Blade to finish off TA. And now Orbit's going to run into the middle of here. But Serpent Wards are dropped down, and he's going to get hit by the Soul Catcher as well. Going to try and deny himself to Roche. The axes fly out, though, and they'll get the kill. A nice kill there for HTID, and it ends up being a 1-for-2 trade. And once again, a trade in favor of the Dire. But killing that TA for the first time is pretty important, and certainly helps out the morale, if nothing else. Sniper does opt to pick up a Hand of Midas, so usually you don't see Hand of Midas selected when you're behind, because of the fact that it does take a little while before you start witnessing returns on it. However, Sniper decided that that is what he needed to get, and as such, we're going to see what he can manage in terms of farm as we move forward. He's going to need 9 or 10 minutes to really make the most out of the Midas and start witnessing gains, whereas he probably could have picked up a Yasha or finished up Boots instead of getting that. And now on the top lane, Darkseer almost in trouble there. Arrays does just narrowly miss, and that would have been really crushing. As Darkseer's looking to finish up a mech, it seems. Orbit on the middle lane. He's matched up against Templar Assassin. Ever since they did this exchange, it's been a slightly better matchup, I do have to say. And now it looks like the CS, it's starting to even out again. So they're not pulling away by any means, the Dire team are not. But they do have a nice advantage. Let's check out the graphs and see what they have to say. 4,000 gold in favor for the Dire, as well as only 2,000 experience. So very minimal, and certainly you can overcome those margins with some careful and precise play. And they're always going to keep a support with Sniper, it seems, which is probably the proper decision. Templar Assassin does have that blink up and on her person now. 700 gold on top of that. We'll see if she wants to go for a BKB next. Uh-oh, double damage pop by Orbit. He goes ahead and uses the cogs on top of Brutus with a blink in for TA, and TA does too much damage. Down goes Clock. His aggression thwarted, and he would have had Shadow Fiend had it not been for TA coming in there and rocking him. And now Shadow Fiend actually taking a good amount of damage. Too bad Lina couldn't turn around and Laguna him for the kill. She was sheeped up there. A couple heroes rotate into this middle lane And they're doing a good job of what I said, trying to stay in groups. Orbit that time maybe getting a little bit overzealous, trying to pick off a hero by himself. And he did know TA was around the middle lane, so perhaps a questionable decision. But nonetheless, he is still having a very solid game on a very underrated hero. TA standing strong in this middle lane. It looks like this is a bait attempt. I mean, Chicken MC walking forward into the river. TA could probably jump on him, and even though he does have supports here, he would take a lot of damage before they can even get disruption off from one meld strike. So we'll see what they can manage. Now it's poised to be a 3v3. Clock on the bottom lane, so no TP for him as he TP'd down there. No TP on Incarnate either. And now 4 heroes are here. So they're going to go ahead and try and push this. Serpent wards are available. They can drop this on the tower. The tower is actually pretty low. They probably will not waste the wards. And in fact, they're going to turn around and try and pinch on Incarnate here. He's going to have to run upriver. And he should be able to do so successfully. 1 second till he has another surge available. And he'll get away just fine. He's only 50 gold away from finishing up his mech. So that would have been a really big death if they were able to take him down there and slow that down further. But instead, he should be able to finish that momentarily. And they do spot off Templar Assassin on the high ground. They want to defend this tower, but they need all 5 here. They're going to throw off a snipe. And the Serpent Wards are dropped now, and they just need to concede it. If they get caught out here, it's going to be really bad. The beasts are summoned off, and they jump in. It's going to take down. No disruption to save Shadow Demon for a moment. And now Orbit's going to pop off the cogs and get tossed out of there by a nice telekinesis. The Roar's going to pop on top of Lopert. He's going to be ignored, though, as Incarnate's jumping into the middle of the fight. He's going to be the focus of their attention. Down he goes. 2 kills in favor of the Dire right now. And now Psionic Trap's going to fly on top of Lena again. Lena could be in trouble to jump in. 1 hit, 2 hits. She's down. But Laguna Blade does fly out before she dies. And she's able to finish off Ice. Sniper actually getting the last hit on that. A 3-for-1 trade. And now they're going to rotate over towards Roche. Remember, they did take a level 1 Roche in this game. Now they're going to try and pick up another Roche at the 15-minute mark, as they do have a lot of map control going in their favor. However, this ward will spot them off, and they'll know they're here. I just don't think the Radiant can do anything to try and stop this Roche attempt as it stands right now. So Sniper, with his Midas, now has treads up and 1,000 gold in the bank. So like I mentioned before, we're still about 5 minutes away from witnessing real returns on that investment. And the question is, what's he going to build? I assume Manta is going to probably be his option, but he needs something to keep him alive against this TA. Now TA invisible, trying to find somebody in the jungle here. And in fact, Sniper's going to retreat fully behind this tier 1 tower on the bottom. And as such, she will not run into anybody. So well played there. TA picks up an Ogre Club, so she is going to go for the BKB next. And that's going to be really devastating for this Dire Radiant team once she's able to acquire that. As the Laguna Blade, all the damage from the Ion Shell, the missile. Uh-oh, now she runs into the Shadow Demon. She almost one-shot him. It takes 2 hits. Will she go for it? There it goes. 1 hit. Disruption to stop her, though. And now Lena rotating back. Oh, another hit. Down goes Shadow Demon. And now Ice is going to go ahead and use the Shackle, but a well-timed Snipe proc is going to stop him. GX Slim takes a good amount of damage. Orbit jumps in but gets tossed right back out by the telekinesis. And now Sniper dies from almost no damage or no focus. And now down goes Orbit as well. Incarnate comes in from the backside. He drops down a questionable wall that doesn't really get much use. He's going to try and focus down Rubik here. Can he get the kill? Telekinesis once again going to toss him away. And now they're going to try and go ahead and kite him. Psionic Trap will slow him down just enough. And the last hit comes out from Templar Assassin again, and GX Slim is dominating 10-1. Wow, just having a superb game, and 23-10 is the kill lead. Hi, this is Dog, really putting a beating on My Intent, who looked so solid when I casted them yesterday, but really it looks like perhaps maybe outpicked. They did pick very creative hero selections, we'll say, with the Sniper and the Clockwork. And I don't think Clockwork really failed as much as Sniper on an aggressive tri-lane. It was just awkward and didn't quite work out for them. And that's really the root of all their problems. The aggressive tri-lane didn't go too well. And as such, they're really lacking in farm. We can see Clockwork still on those arcanes, which he had around the 5 or 6 minute mark. And he has 1,000 gold in the bank on the back end of that. Lena on that support duty, nothing going on for her. Chicken MC now looks like he's trying to go for Yasha, but he can't survive. The Ether Shock The Fade Bolts and one raise is enough to take him down right now. Darkseer has that mech up, and Shadow Demon, of course, support as well. He doesn't even have a wand. So really an uphill battle as it stands at the 18-minute mark. I'm NYJohn. This is the GosuCup Americas. My Intent versus Hi, this is Dog. Hi, this is Dog taking a decisive lead. And we'll check out the graphs in just a moment. Let's look at the items first. As you see, Beastmaster does have a mech on him as well as a point booster. So probably looking towards an Aghanims. GX Slim almost able to finish off his BKB. That'll be huge. He also has the Aegis still up. Hasn't had to use it yet. It'll be up for 3 more minutes or so. And Shadow Shaman has drums and arcane boots, so a support living the life of luxury, but we do hear a roar fly off on top of Clockwork. He's going to get cheaped as well, so a trap will pop to slow him down, and the shackle will hold him in his tracks. Down he goes. The last hit goes to Shadow Shaman. And we do see now a Blink Dagger up on Rubik, so the supports are just so much more farm than even some of the carry roles for the Radiant team, and that's going to create a huge disparity that is going to really put this game perhaps out of reach for the Radiant. Now it looks like they're going to try and find someone in this middle lane. The Hawk going to do some scouting and actually get sniped here by a sniper. So interesting play to get rid of that vision. I like it. It's cheeky. Let's take a look at those graphs. Like I said a moment ago, over 12,000 gold in favor of the Dire right now. Over 14,000 experience. These are huge numbers. Let's head over to our net worth graph, and we have 4 Dire heroes before the first Radiant hero. Actually, the positions get juxtaposed a little bit as Sniper does jump ahead of Rubik. So Sniper doing a decent job of keeping his farm up there, but still not able to really impact the game in the way that they need him to have some real success. On bottom lane, Shadow Shaman's going to continue pushing. He throws down the Serpent Wards, and the Creep Wave does come in range to tank up a little bit. Some of them taken down. They're going to be able to clean this up in a moment. Do they want to try and engage on the back end of this? They only have 3 heroes in the area. In fact, Orbit's going to try and engage. He jumps on top of Shadow Shaman. He's going to toss him out of his own cog trap once again, but the snipe comes in enough to finish off the Shadow Shaman. So nice little pick off there for the Radiant side. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin's going to bottle up an invisibility rune and run into the action. They have to be careful not to try and over-pursue this. She will run into ward vision in a moment if she does not pop off the Invis rune. Meanwhile, top lane being pushed out by Shadow Fiend. He has his BKB up as well. So the items are there for the Dire team. If they want to try and get this team fight before Roche expires, they only have 40 seconds or so to do that, though. Templar Assassin looking to find an opening here. Now pops off the Invis. Will jump forward. Once again, disruption placed on top of Shadow Demon to keep him alive for another moment. Rubik's dropping down to below half health. He's going to die first. The roar flies off. It's enough to take down Sniper. And now GXM looking to dive onto this Lina. Lina taking enough damage. 2 more hits to do the job. Can he get a meld strike off? And here it goes. Oh, but the jump from Orbit is going to stop GXM in his tracks, but he still finishes off Lina. And now he'll die just before the Aegis is going to be reclaimed by Roche. Incarnate and Orbit sitting on top of him. Can they finish him off here? It looks like they should be able to do just that pretty easily. Snipe comes in from Sniper to get the last hit. A buyback or 2 flying out there from the Radiant team, rather. Let's check out who it's from. It looks like Sniper had the buyback, and he gets the kill in the back end, so he'll reclaim some of that gold he spent in that way. And now, that must have been just as the Aegis was getting reclaimed, because it was really close. However, they got the kill anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. They didn't lose that much more. Shadow Shaman working towards a 4-staff. Shadow Fiend just continues his farm. Now 1,800 golden bank. Probably going to go towards a Manta of his own. Rubik picking up bracers. Beastmaster continuing to farm. He has a courier coming out to him. Will it be his Aghanims? Yes, it will. A full Aghanims flying out to Beastmaster now. Kill lead is 27-13 in favor of High. This is Dog. We're at the 22-minute mark now. So Roche is back in about 3 minutes. And we'll see if they're going to be able to contest that. That is, if My Intent can contest that. Clockwork's farm has stagnated really hard since that strong early start. Now he has a Vitality booster up. He's going to also pick up an Illusion Room, but then go ahead and use his ult back onto Shadow Demon. One of the newer patch modifications where he can ult his teammates. Before it was certainly frustrating where if you hit a teammate accidentally, it cancels that ult. And another snipe flies out to take down a Hawk. I'm NYJohn. Thank you for joining me. And looks like the middle lane, they're just going to try and march down this middle lane, perhaps. Do they have any smokes on them? Yes, they do. So perhaps a smoke gank will fly out here, and HTID are going to try and assert themselves again. We'll move up to the high ground, and that must be the ping for the smoke. Nope. They're actually just going to continue to farm. So they're content with farming. Let's check out the graph if it's staying the same. So it's leveling out around 14,000 advantage. So is the experience graph around the 15,000 advantage. And here it goes. The smoke should pop off in a moment. Once TA finishes farming the easy camp, I'd imagine that's the only reason they'd idle here. Don't make me into a liar. And here we go. So, pursuit is on. The question is, can they find a good fight? They're going to have to go under the tower because it doesn't look like my intents are going to come out, and it probably would be too risky for them to do so at all. So, they should expect this for the most part. And now Orbit's going to run right into Shadow Shaman. The roar flies off on him, but Destruction will keep him safe for a moment. Well played by Shadow Demon there. And the sheep flies off onto him as well. Surge will let him retreat a little bit, but Telekinesis will stop him in his tracks again. He throws off the cog trap, the vacuum into the wall, and now looks like Orbit's going to be the first casualty of the fight. From the middle of the cog trap, Brutus dealing a lot of damage. He takes down Shadow Demon. And now 2 heroes dead for the Radiant. This should provide a big enough opening for them to take down the tier 2 on the middle lane, as they do walk through the wall again and have to take down some more illusions. And they're actually just going to back all the way up to Roche, who's going to be up in 30 seconds. So this will be the third Roche. It should be an Aegis and a Cheese. And that will allow them to push that much more successfully. So once again, thank you for everyone that's joining me. I'm NYJohn. This is the GosuCup Americas. I believe it's the round of 16, so if I am correct, then HTID, the way things are going, they're going to move on to the round of 8 next and see how they could fare there. And they've had a really strong performance. A little bit of lackluster play coming out from my intent, perhaps. Some interesting picks just didn't quite pan out. And a level 1 Roche from HTID certainly didn't make things much easier on them. As Shackle flies off, and this Roche is going to go down really quickly. However, it looks like my intent are going to try and fight this. But now that Roche is dead, they should not go in, but they're going to go in anyway. Orbit in the middle of the fight. He's going to be taken down instantly. They take down Shadow Shaman as well, though. So 1 for 1 as it stands. The fight continues. They're able to finish off the Beastmaster, but Incarnate's going to drop, and now Shadow Demon, he's going to take a couple hits from this TA and go down as well. 4 heroes dead. Lena taken down on the side, too. Last man standing is that sniper. And he does have a Manta, but it ends up being a 4 for 3 trade. Did they lose the Aegis? No. Did they lose the Cheese? Let's see. I'm not even sure who picked it up. Looks like they did use the Cheese and lose it, so not too big of a deal, though, still having the Aegis. And they're going to go ahead and 2-man push this middle tier 2 tower. The short respawn times are going to create a little bit of a hassle for the the Dire squad as they try and push this down. They might try and jump on this. TA is going to lose refraction, pop it off a fresh one. Out now, they throw down the Light Strike Array and the Dragon Slave. And now Demonic Purge on her as well. Orbit may think about going in here. I see him on the side. But no, it looks like they think better of it. Missile's going to fly off, and they do take her down. So the Aegis is going to be popped from TA. Oh, man. And that was the most passive Aegis take I've ever seen, where it's just from such long distance are able to sap her down. Really well played there. And so things looking a little bit better, I suppose. The lead is still a huge margin, 15,000 gold plus for the Dire, but they're able to take down the Aegis. They had a fairly even fight in that Roche pit, surprisingly so. And we'll see if they can make anything of it. Sniper continues to farm. He does have that Midas, so his farm's going to go pretty well, considering even though he's not going to get as many creeps coming to him or be able to farm as many creeps because it wouldn't be as safe, the Midas is going to provide pretty steady income. And now it looks like, though, the whole HTID squad are going to rotate in here, run into Lena, roar onto her. She goes down instantly. And now they're going to push this tier 2 down here. No doubt. Rubik looking for someone to jump on. He has a point booster up as well. TA's just going to run into the tower and tank it herself. They're going to try and take this through the backdoor protection, and we'll be able to do so pretty easily. Here we go as they march onto the base. Mech is popped to get everyone back up to full health. And Tier 3 is going to be focused. They throw down the cogs to try and slow them down. I'll do so for a couple moments here. Serpent wards are dropped to try and help the effort. Sniper quickly taking down the majority of those Serpent wards, though. Now Shadow Fiend in the base, standing a really forward position, wants to get this tower down. Sniper continues to try and take down the wards. The jump in from orbit, he catches only an illusion, and from the back end, TA comes in, almost finishes off Shadow Demon, but he gets the disruption up. He'll go down right after, though. Incarnate taking a lot of damage from Shadow Fiend as well. He will just barely survive. Orbit alive as well. Can they finish anyone else off here? It looks like down goes the Lina. She turns for a Laguna Blade, but it's not enough, and the Blink will disjoint the snipe coming out from Sniper. So 5 men still stand for the Dire team. Meanwhile, the Radiant lose 2 of their own, and now a missile flies up from Clockwork and does finish off Shadow Shaman. It's almost as if they do not expect it, and it looks like they're going to try and make their way back into this fight and get a couple more kills here. The melee barracks is down, however. Now Sniper able to finish off Rubik as well. Beastmaster's in a lot of trouble. The roar flies off, but he'll still go down. So that's the 3rd kill for the Radiant team. And now they have to clean up this mess in their base. Another missile's going to fly off. Templar Assassin will live, and Shadow Fiend will live. He goes to the top lane to continue his farm. Let's check out our net worth. It looks like both of those heroes are going to be leading the way at 13,000 apiece. Meanwhile, 11,000 on the Sniper. And look at the net worth on Shadow Demon, 1,000 gold. That is really devastating for your support hero. He's doing pretty well in the fights. I mean, his disruptions have been on point. You can't really criticize him as a player. It's just been unfortunate circumstances and perhaps the lineup not panning out exactly how he wanted. And now Sniper does pick up a Maelstrom, so a very interesting option considering the fact that they do have a couple BKBs already completed on their team. So that will block all the magic damage coming out from those lightning procs if they're used at the same time. And, I mean, to boost up his attack speed, I suppose that's the end goal right now. He wants to attack faster to get more procs on his headshot and try and increase his damage output. And they're going to go ahead and just keep farming. Now they have a little bit more room to do so. The kill lead's 36 to 19, so they've done a decent job of maintaining what the gap is, and HTID are having more difficult time closing this out than I would have expected. To be honest, we're at the 30-minute mark. This game looked like it could have been over around the 18-minute mark, and HTID are struggling to get into that base and decisively take down a Rax. They got one here, but it certainly was anything but clean as they lost 3 heroes in the mix. And that definitely is a testament to heroes like Darkseer that are certainly frustrating to try and cope with when you're pushing into a base because of the vacuum wall combo. And now Darkseer looks like he's going to be working towards a Shiva's guard. He's only 300 and change away from finishing it off. Now Sniper, though, going to get caught here. Oh, and he's going to drop instantly, just as we praise the fact that he did maintain good farm. And now Shadow Demon going to get shackled up. He's down, and this could be the opening that the Dire have been looking for. They throw down a Sonic Trap in the base to slow down Orbit, but they will not pursue onto him. They're just going to bring the wave up. In fact, this wave is back pretty far, and Shadow Demon's going to be back up in no time. Missile's going to fly out from Clockwork to try and slow down the push that much more. But Shadow Fiend now picks up a Demon Edge. So he has the Mantle, the BKB, Demon Edge. Probably going to convert that into an MKB and 2,000 more gold. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin picks up a Manta of her own. Now a Mithril Hammer in the bank. So maybe a Deso coming up for her. And they're just going to continue farming. So they got a couple big pickoffs there, but they don't really push it because the lane was a little bit behind them. And could Sniper afford buyback? No, he couldn't. So it would have been interesting if they could have gotten it. But Sniper now changes his focus. He's going to be going towards a Chrysalis. So trying to increase that damage output as much as he can. And the game has certainly slowed down from what it was in the beginning. We had 13 kills in 7 minutes. We still have a lot of kills, but the action is has big gaps between, and Roche is going to come back in a couple more minutes, so maybe the next Roche is going to be the opportunity for HTID. Maybe they do not want to risk it And I'm not sure there's any way they could really lose this. They'd have to lose a lot of team fights in succession. Darkseer now able to finish up his Shivas, so a nice acquisition on him. That armor will help out his team a good deal. Missile flies off, and are they going to try and defend this tier 2? It looks like they're going to come in, throw down a vacuum, but back off. And that's probably the wise decision. The tier 2s are going to be too difficult to try and defend right now. That's the final outer base tower claimed by Hi, this is Dog. We're at the 33-minute mark. And they are double the kills of their opposition. But Sniper making it a little bit more interesting. Throwing off those snipes. Now has the Chrysalis finished up. He's 9-6. So don't discredit his effort. And we can see, let's check out our actual kill leaders. And of course, as you would expect if you've been watching the whole game, TA with 14 for 2 has done a really brilliant job getting those kills and doing so in a safe manner. And the fact that she's had an Aegis for almost the entirety of the game certainly does help the issue. Roche going to be back in 2 more minutes, and it looks like they're content to farm until that point. However, Rubik does push forward by himself. He now has a Bloodstone finish. So this support Rubik is getting really big. That's certainly not good for the Radiant team as they try and work their way back into this game. Beastmaster's a Blink Dagger up as well. You can see Shadow Shaman picks up a gem. So they will have 0 map control. They have some really conservative wards to try and stave off any aggression close to their base, and then they have 1 more ward checking out on the rune over here, but that one's going to expire momentarily. And this is what they need to do if they want to try and make it back into it. They're going to have to try and turtle and find some successes there. Clockwork picks up a Blade Mail. So a decent option for him. It's one of those inexpensive items that if you cannot afford anything else, instead of saving up, which can be futile at times, you try and acquire. And then if Shadow Fiend is focused on you, or perhaps if TA is focused on you, you can get some decent damage back on her. And certainly Clockwork, as a hero, puts himself in position where he is focused on very often. Now it looks like a smoke coming out from the Radiant. They're going to try and make something happen outside of their base. This is an interesting decision. They're going to need execution for it to work out. They run into Shadow Fiend first. Shadow Fiend's going to pop off his Manta and back up. The BKB is up as well. Orbit jumps in, uses a cog to separate Shadow Fiend from his team. Orbit's taking a good amount of damage. Can they finish him off here? No one has died yet. First one to go down is going to be Incarnate on the Darkseer. And now Laguna Blade on top of Beastmaster, but he's going to pop off the mech and survive. And now GX Slim's going to do some work. He takes down 1. He tries to take down Lopert as well. Lena's going to be the second casualty for GX Slim as he gets 2 kills here. Orbit's trying to back off. He throws down a missile. He's going to pop off the battery assault as well. Telekinesis to toss him into the air. They're going to leave him in place. Can they kill him without losing anyone else? He's going to pop off another set of cogs, and he should be okay as he tries to TP back to the base. But they did a good job. That was an interesting team fight. Able to separate Shadow Fiend from the rest of his squad, but they did not have enough damage to finish him off. He had the BKB up, he had the Manta up, and he was able to get off a Requiem of Souls. And as such, the team fight kind of fell away from them. Now they're going to focus down this 4th Roshan. So another Cheese and Aegis is going to be attained by the Dire side here. And maybe this will be the enabler for the final push and an opportunity to end the game. The Radiant holding on for dear life. It certainly has been a struggle ever since probably the 1 minute mark when they lost that Roche early on. They had no idea what was going on, and it wasn't the easiest Roche to forecast by any means. But then that tri-lane on the top, it was just far too difficult for a sniper Shadow Demon Lena to overcome, as there was a good amount of damage output and a lot of disables coming out as well. And once Shadow Fiend gets that level 3, those raises hit really hard. And if they can keep up mana on him, certainly he has an advantage over the damage output coming out from Sniper. But they're still trying, so credit them that. They have not given up. My intent are resilient. Is it all futile, though? That may be the question. I'm NYJohn. This is the GosuCup Americas, presented by GosuGamers.com. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have more games for you today. I hope, if not later tonight, I will be casting the SECS Season 17 playoffs. So one way or another, be sure to stay tuned throughout the day. It's a long day of casting for me. I am missing football for it, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And now we have a couple of heroes grouping out here, and they're going to try and break into the base. So hi, this is Dog, going to try their final push into the base here. They already have the bottom racks, the melee barracks taken down, and a missile flies off. They put the Aegis on Shadow Fiend this time. And probably the cheese on Lanaya. Yep, she jumps in. Actually, Beastmaster's going to lead the way. Roar on top of Sniper. He gets disrupted, though. He'll survive for a moment here. Orbit makes his way into the middle fight. Akax will catch 2 in the middle of it. Everyone is still alive right now. Orbit's going to turn. The Blade Mail is dealing a lot of damage back to Shadow Fiend. He's actually going to drop to the Aegis, but Orbit does die in the mix as well. They're almost able to take down Rasta, but he gets out of the base. GXM has to pop off the cheese, and somehow the Radiant are holding, but now the Requiem of Souls in the middle of the fight. Oh no, it was the minor Requiem as they do take down Shadow Fiend. Disruption flies off on top of Lanaya, but they don't have anything else to jump any further. Will the racks go down? No, Incarnate comes in, he throws down a vacuum, and they're going to be forced back. So against all odds, the Radiant hold. And they essentially had 7 lives there, and they still take down. It's a 1-for-1 trade. And for morale, at least, that has to be a huge fight. They lose the range barracks in the bottom lane. That doesn't really matter all too much at all. But wow. What an interesting fight. And Shadow Demon, once again, proving that he is a top-level awareness player, able to go ahead and use Disruption on Sniper so Sniper can stay alive and get back into that fight and get the damage output that his team needs to succeed. And Shadow Fiend dropping the Aegis over here, it put him in a really bad position because when he resurrected, the rest of his team was blocked off by a nice placement from the wall from Darkseer. And as such, they're able to just zero in on him. And I don't even know what's going to happen anymore. 42-20 is the kill lead. Hi, this is Dog has a huge lead, but it seems like gradually the Radiant are making their way back into it. The graphs will not tell that, though. Oh, my God. 25,000 gold advantage for the Dire, and they cannot close out this game. 30,000 experience, but experience doesn't matter all too much at this stage of the game. They just can't close it out. And now Sniper does pick up a helmet of the Dominator. And for the person that asked in chat a while ago if this is a best of 3 or best of 1, this is a best of 1 to my knowledge. I think it's all best of 1s until maybe the semifinals. I don't know if it changes up there. This is kind of the last minute thing for me to jump into the GosuCup Americas. I appreciate the fact that GGNet allowed me to do so. And I appreciate all your viewerships as well. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at NYJohn Every time I get 15 new followers, and I have like none. Every time I get 15 new followers, I give away a rare item, including some things like the Heirloom for Templar Assassin. I have 2 Battle Point boosters for the 6 days. So if everyone does it, someone can get an item. I'll do it randomly. And then the person can select the item they want from what I've designated for selection. So cool stuff going on. Be sure to follow me here on Twitch as well. And VODs will be available on my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/NYJohnTV. This VOD may be a 70-minute one at this rate. They're holding the base so well. And I said it before, and I have to say it again, Darkseer is just too good at turtling. They cannot get full penetration in there. But now with the tower down, it's going to make it a slightly easier opportunity for them to get in there and focus down on the racks. So we'll see what they can make of it. Snipe flies off. I'm not sure if it was on Shadow Fiend or if it was on a Hawk again, but it's been really funny to see Sniper use those snipes onto the Hawks. And here comes the push again. Now they don't have the Aegis. Now they don't have the cheese. Could this be a turning point? I can't bring myself to believe that it could be. I think the lead is just far too much for them to overcome, but the way that last teamfight went, if it happens again, you might see My Intent marching onto the base and taking down maybe a tier 1 on bottom or a tier 2 on middle. Snipes are flying off, and hi, this is Dog, are reluctant to come into the base here. They drop down the Serpent Wards. Serpent Wards on the edge. They're able to focus down on the racks, so that's going to be their main purpose, to take down the racks and try and get out of here. They pop the BKBs. Now they're in the middle of the fight. They use a roar on top of Sniper. Sniper's going to turn around. The nice vacuum is going to pull him into the middle of the wall. A whole lot of damage. Down goes Shadow Fiend. Down goes Beastmaster. And now they're going to get a Shackle on top. Oh, down goes the Shadow Shaman as well. Rubik's trying to run away, but Incarnate's in hot pursuit. A 3-for-1 exchange as it stands right now, and they're able to take down Rubik as well. Another huge kill, but they did lose their melee barracks in the exchange. But wow, a huge fight for My Intent. The deficit is huge. They're down 25,000 gold, 30,000 experience, and they're still struggling. Or excuse me, the Dire are struggling, and now they're going to march down the middle lane and try and get a tower here. This is a great opportunity for them to try and place down some map control, get some wards, put them in quirky positions. Now that the gem is down as well, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for the Dire to go ahead and counter everything off. And the long respawn timers, as a result of the high levels on this Dire team, it allows them to go ahead and push down the tier 2, and they'll be able to back successfully. Wow, this game is out of control. Mind-blowing nonsense, blah. And I don't know if it's to credit my intent for sticking with it, or if it's to question This is Dog's ability to close out a game, because they are huge. There's no denying the fact. Shadow Demon, we're at 43 minutes. His items consist of power treads and a magic wand. If we look at Lena, same thing. She has drums and treads. Meanwhile, the supports for This is Dog, we have Rubik with a Bloodstone and a Blink. We have Shadow Shaman with drums, force, and he's going for an Aghanims. He's halfway there. Wow, this game is out of control. And they're going to keep trying. Templar Assassin has bots up now as well. So Deso, Manta, BKB, Blink, and Boots of Travel. It looks like the next thing she's going to go for is the Chrysalis into an eventual Daedalus. But she may need buyback gold at this point. We see MKB up on Shadow Fiend. He also has 1,300 gold in the bank. No indication what he wants to go for next. The gem is left in the base, so they don't want to pick it up. I suppose. Interesting placement. Oh, they're going to put it on the courier now. So they'll put it back, and now Daedalus finished on Sniper, so his damage is getting up there. He's hitting for 300 almost normally, and then on procs, I'm sure 737, so looking pretty solid in terms of his damage output. And they're just going to try and force down these Raxes. So here's the movement towards the top lane. Just going to try and zero in on the tower and the Rax. But now the Glyph is back up, so they have to be a little bit more careful. Last fight, the Glyph wasn't up. That allowed them to take down that Rax. I can only imagine what would have happened if the Glyph was available. And here we go. The grouping is outside of the base. They're going to look for another opening. They've been getting roars off, but the disruption has really just slowed them down. Serpent Wards are dropped now. And they're going to pop off the Glyph first. So the Glyph is going to be used now. GXLM's running up here. He runs right into Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon decides to use the Daemonic Persian. GXLM may be in trouble. Vacuum back in. He pops off the BKB and he'll turn on to Orbit. Orbit hasn't popped off his Blade Mail yet. In fact, he'll go down really quickly. However, Shadow Demon taking a lot of damage from the back end. Sniper finishes him off. Darkseer getting the last hit. And now Darkseer trying to do work in the middle of the fight. He gets hit off by a Shackle. Down goes Shadow Shaman. They're going to turn their attention. Laguna Blade on top of Rubik. He goes down as well. And now GXLM trying to get out of here, but he cannot make it. Too much damage coming out from Sniper. And another team fight, one from the Radiant. They don't even get it in the base this time. So well played to keep the fight outside of the base and take down the Dire team again. And now Roshan is going to respawn in 4 seconds. So if they've done their homework, if they've kept the timer, they're going to be able to get a Roshan kill here with a cheese. And my mind is blown. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. This is My Intent versus This is Dog. This is GosuCup Americas. I believe it's round of 16. Now in the bottom lane, though, we see a split effort. It looks like Beastmaster is going to push this out here. You can't really do all too much else. However, it's going to be very difficult. I don't think he's going to be able to take down that tower. So Roche is going to be focused. It looks like Beastmaster is going to rotate towards the middle lane, try and take down this range barracks. That's going to be a really minor victory, if anything at all. In fact, Orbit's going to jump on top of him, catch him in the middle of the Cox. He pops off the Power Cox. He can't TP out of that. I don't even know why he tried. And now he's going to go down, so another kill. Beastmaster essentially feeding there. Meanwhile, they're able to finish off. Was the Aegis stolen? No, the cheese was stolen by Rubik, so he gets something, but he goes down anyway. And the Aegis is now on Sniper. Buyback comes out from Beastmaster as well. And this game, I don't even have words for it. But My Intent, sticking with it. We're almost coming up on the 50-minute mark. And we have one hell of a game. And you wouldn't think it if you're just tuning in now. 2 Raxes down in favor of the Dire. But that doesn't tell the story at all. Now it looks like Clock's going to get back to the base, finish up drums. So Clock's farm even struggling mightily. The only hero with farm here is Sniper, and he has a whole lot of it. He has 2,900 gold in the bank now. If he wants to finish off something like his Mjolnir, he can actually. He goes for a Satanic. So Satanic finished up on top of the fact that he has 3,000 more gold and an Aegis. This hero is going to be near impossible to take down. And I don't even know how it happens. I did criticize the Midas selection for him, but it seemed to have panned out in the long run. And we talked about earlier, Sniper is a hero when he gets a lot of farm, he's really powerful. It just didn't seem like he would get the opportunity to get a lot of farm. So the fact that he is where he is right now is a testament to the player, Chicken MC. He had a superb game yesterday, and he's following that up with perhaps a legendary game. This effort from My Intent, a game that I said before could have been over in 18 minutes, it seemed, with the lead on top of the Dire. I think Lanaya was something like 10-1 at the 18-minute mark, and Shadow Fiend had a whole lot of farm. They had the BKBs up. They could have pressed the advantage. It just didn't work out. They couldn't press into the Darkseer. And, I mean, Orbit's been secluding certain heroes. He's dropped in almost all these fights. He has 11 deaths, but he's done a great job of letting them focus on who they need to take down, which is going to be Shadow Fiend, and it's going to be Lanaya. And then the rest of the team just falls down pretty easily after that. Now it looks like another smoking attempt as they're grouping up in this top jungle for the Dire team. Here we go. Can they make anything happen? They're going to rotate over towards the Ancients, it seems, as that's where they ping up. But the entirety of the Radiant team is over here by their own jungle. Here comes the pursuit. They're going to be spotted in the bottom lane as they come towards the creep wave. But My Intent wants to take the fight outside of the base. So this could fall into their plans. It depends who they go on first. Shadow Demon has done a great job of keeping himself alive, but just as I say that, he's going to drop instantly. And there's a nice pick off, but he buys back right away. Orbit uses the hook to get back into the base, and now Sniper's going to TP as well. So everyone's still alive. A death on Shadow Demon, not the end of the world. He had enough money to buy back. He's going to get back into the rotation. And it looks like the Dire are going to back off, maybe bring the wave forward a little bit. If they bring forward the bottom and the middle wave, it could make it an easier effort to try and push that top lane. Let's see if there's any damage on these towers. A little bit of damage on the tier 4, the throne tower, but not too much. And Lina and Sniper are venturing pretty far out of the base here, but not too concerned. They're going to ping Sniper to try and get him to come back. There's still a tier 1 standing on the bottom lane. It's below half health, but that just shows the way the game has gone. They haven't been able to finish off all the tier 1s quite yet. And here we go. Once again, they're grouping by the base. At some point, you have to question why they just don't sit back and farm. They have so much map control. You know, throwing the whole effort in towards trying to take down the base 3 times on end and coming out short for almost all those fights. At that point, you wonder if they'd just be better suited to go ahead and place some aggressive wards, take over both jungles, take over the Ancients, and just keep the farm going. Let's check out the timer on this Roche. The Aegis is going to be up for 2 more minutes, so My Intent may want to try and pick a fight here. Now they have Boots of Travel on Sniper, 3,200 gold in the bank. And once again, the team is just stalking here. They're trying to wait for somebody to jump on them or walk up towards the Ancients, but nobody is going there. The whole team is in the bottom lane. They're going to push towards this tier 1. The top lane is pushed far enough that they don't really have to worry about the oncoming push attempt from the Dire. So not a bad option. And we'll see. Sniper's saving for buyback gold first. He could also finish off Mjolnir, as I mentioned before, if that's what he wants to go for. But the Aegis is going to wear out momentarily here. 1 more minute until it goes away and Roshan reclaims it. And that's one of the changes that I really enjoyed from the last patch. The fact that Roshan reclaims the Aegis at 6 minutes, it makes it a lot more interesting. And here it goes. The Dire are actually marching into the base. They want to take down this range barracks. Glyph is available. They're going to pop it off here. Are they going to look for the team fight, though? It looks like the Dire are going to back out. And the hook attempt flies, but it will not catch anybody from Clockwork. And they're going to go back to their nice little place in the high ground and sit there and try and find someone to run into them. However, Sniper wants to pursue. He has to be careful. There's only 30 seconds left on this Aegis. If they get into a fight and he lives just the worst luck ever, he may just drop. And look at him, he's still chasing. He wants to force this so bad. He's going to, oh, get roared off here. Sniper's in trouble. There's no disruption because Shadow Demon's not within range. He's going to get really low, and he gets taken down by GX Slim. Now the Vacuum's going to pull Shadow Fiend into the middle of the cogs. He respawns right now in the middle of the Rec Room of Souls. Incarnate with a wall. The illusion of Shadow Fiend dealing a good amount of damage, but Sniper goes out for the second time. And now he's going to have to buy back and jump into this fight. In fact, he's not going to buy back, and this could have been a big throw in a game that perhaps they had an opportunity to win. Down goes Lena. And that's 4 kills, 5 if you include the Aegis, for the Dire team. And that was just... I mean, they were playing methodically. They were playing smart. They had a chance. Against all odds, they had a chance, but that was just poorly done. I know you want to use the Aegis, but it's quite the overextension to try and do so. Now the tower is going to go down, and the final Rax is going to go down, and that's going to be the game. 54 minutes in. Hi, this is Dog. Are able to finish off My Intent. The roar on top of Sniper again. Shackle, he goes down. Incarnate vacuums everybody in. He'll go down as well, though. And that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. I'm NYJohn. Be sure to follow me here on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. And follow me. Subscribe me on YouTube. Do all that stuff. I really appreciate the support. Shout out to someone. Let me find their name. Oliver Carlson. I have an email from you saying that I'm a good caster. I really appreciate that. Any feedback, if you guys want to email me or message me on Twitch, that's awesome. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll have another GosuCup game coming for you next.